You know, if you want to get into custom cars, I think you need to start with paint. And let me explain why. Realistically, you could do a really shitty custom paint job and still be the coolest guy in the Walmart parking lot. Now, if you think about custom paint and you think that you need, you know, a spray booth and a spray gun and an air compressor and paint and reducer and clear and all these other things, well, you're wrong. Don't get me wrong. Those things are absolutely awesome to have, and that should be a goal if you really, really enjoy custom paint. But that is not the starting point. To get started in custom paint, you really need like 4 things. Maybe 5. I don't know, 4 or 5 things. First thing you need is what they call fine line tape. It's this really skinny stuff right here. It comes in different widths. Here's a pretty decent thick one. You can get this stuff on Amazon, like 10 rolls for like 10 bucks. That's the first thing. Because this allows you to do these small curves and stuff to go around the edges of things, to tape them. It's kind of the greatest thing ever. It allows curves, it allows flames, it allows me to follow this and follow this edge. That's definitely the first thing you need. Now, I would say don't skimp on that one because that's going to be the edge that gets painted on. So don't skimp on this. Buy a relatively decent quality. Don't use like old tape that's been laying around for a while. Second thing you're going to need though is some cheap tape. Cheap stuff. Nothing special. Just cheap painter's tape. Once you lay the green line down, the fine line tape, you can get it in different colors. I get green. Once you lay that down and get your curved edge, you're going to take this one, you're going to go around that edge. And you can rip off little pieces as long as they're all overlapping. You don't want to leave any gaps, but still nothing special. I wouldn't necessarily tape or paint against this tape. I have. It just, there's a chance that stuff will go under the edge. As long as you spray it kind of thin, you're fine. The fourth thing you're probably going to want is some paper. Or really any material you don't care about getting paint on. Just something to cover up these bigger edges. You could use tape and do line after line after line until it's covered. And I've done that. They also make very wide rolls of tape. Oh, I got one. This one's kind of wide compared to this. This one also really sucks and it rips all the time. I'm using computer paper. A lot of people use newspaper. You just want something to be able to cover the surfaces you don't want to get overspray on. When you paint something, little splatters are going to go other places. Especially if you want to paint up to this edge, you're going to really have to paint back to here. And if you don't want paint on your bumper, you're going to need something to cover it up. That's what I'm doing now. And again, I'm taping over that edge. I'm taping between the pieces of paper all the way up. I don't want anywhere paint can get to. So I just make sure I tape it all up. Next thing you're going to have to find, and it's going to be hard for some of us to find, especially me, is some patience. You don't want to mess this up. The prep work, how long you take to make sure those edges look nice, how long you take to make sure everything's taped off nice, that really is what makes or breaks this paint job. You need to keep in mind that we are not trying to make a show quality piece. We are just trying to improve it. We want it to be a little bit better. So when I look at this grill right now, I know I got overspray on it, and I know it's a little beat up, things like that. So I'm going to mist it with some black. I'm not spraying it with black because I think it's going to look like the best thing in the world, but I think it'll improve it. I've also decided to spray the edge of the actual bumper itself that touches the grill. I'm doing this because, well, when I spray painted the grill, I didn't really hit that spot good enough. Kind of looks bad. And I think it's better for me to just hit it right now with a little bit of black. And I think it'll look nice. And I think it'll make that grill look a little bit better. Patience is hard to come by in this, okay? I know a lot of people will listen to music while they tape stuff off. Do it. I know a lot of people. I know somebody right now who is just now getting into painting things. He's a buddy of mine. I'm teaching him how to paint. We just did his motorcycle over the weekend. He finds it very, very therapeutic to sand and to tape and to prep and to do these things. He's a very hyper individual, but he finds this to be a very, very therapeutic thing, very mind calming thing, to take your time and make sure it's right and to really come out with something beautiful at the end of it. Patience, you're going to need it. Next thing you're going to need is a little bit of perfectionism. Perfectionism. I don't know what the word is here. Great example. I can paint this right now, but I can tell you looking inside of there, my radiator and stuff, my intercooler, I don't really want paint on that. If that stays silver, it's going to look a whole lot better. So, I need to do something about that. Right now. I didn't think about it until right now, but I need to do something about that. I need to get behind there and block that off. What do I have? I don't know yet. And that's okay. I'm going to find something to cover that up. Take your time right now. Figure things out right now. Make sure every little edge is taped right now. Okay? Right now is the time. It's the only time. Right now before you paint it is the time. Now when you go to pick your paint, some people will say, well, rattle can's cheap. And to that I say, yeah, it is. It's thinned out paint. Rust-Oleum itself ain't a bad company. They make like tractor paints. They make really good high-end paints. It's just thin. So spray it thin. I don't need to blast it. It's not going to be covered on the first spray. I'm going to spray this 3-4 times. Every time it's going to be a real light mist. Shake this way more than you think you need to. Shake it until you get tired. Shake it a little more. You should shake this, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. It's not an exaggeration. Shake it for like 2 minutes. What there's a little marble inside there. Literally a marble. Okay? I've cut some of these open. It's literally a glass marble. And you're shaking that around. And what that's doing is mixing the paint up. It's making sure nothing's sticking to the sides. So take it and swing it around. Shake it. Beat it up. Tap it on your hand. Do whatever you need to do. Get this thing mixed up. There's paint inside of here. You don't want to spray something that's maybe too thick and doesn't have the thinner in there. You don't want to spray like just thinner. Mix this up really well. Like I said, like 2 minutes. Now again, I went through and checked the tape while I was shaking, but I was shaking. Now I'm going to go through and just mist it on. Real light. Spray a little bit off to the side, make sure it's coming out right. Hey, you should wear a mask or do this in a ventilated area. I'm not, and I'm going to suffer from it. One thing I have to keep in mind is I'm painting a grill. I need to paint this thing downward, and I need to paint it that way, and then I need to paint it this way. And really, I could paint it up, but I don't really care what the bottom looks like. Point is, I have to hit this from different angles for it to really fill in like I want it to fill in. And that's okay, but it's just something you need to keep in your mind, okay? Something you need to just do, okay? You'll get used to it. But again, I'm waiting a few minutes. I'm spraying it different, like right here. There's a spot right there. I seen it. I'm inspecting it. Gotta hit that right there. Fortunately, I'm out of paint per here. Hear that? That's out. That's rough. I really needed to paint more things. But I'm out. It is what it is. I'm going to show you something here in a second. So for my final spraying, I stood up, and that's because most times people look at this car up close, they're probably going to be standing in front of it. So I wanted to stand up, and I wanted to look at this in different light and find out spots where maybe I had missed. Now again, this started out black, but I had oversprayed it with cream when I was painting everything else because I didn't tape it off properly. And you know what? That's my oversight. And that's okay because I really wanted to go through and paint a lot of this stuff matte black, and the black I'm using is a matte black or a flat black. Yeah, flat black. So again, this is empty. I need to go get more. That's okay. But I just wanted to show you guys, like, I know you didn't see the before because I was already doing stuff, but I can tell you right now, there was whites, and it was beat up, and it was old, and now it doesn't look that way, okay? Now, I'll tell you right now, take your time. Mist things. You don't need to spray it heavy. You need to mist it. Again, you want to look at different angles that people are going to look at it from. I want to look at it from this angle and make sure there's nowhere else I need to spray. I want to look at it from, you know, kind of back further. I want to look at it from up top where people are going to be standing. I want to look at it from off to the side. You need to move around this. Now, if you look, you can see where some of that paint splattered all the way up to my edge, which means I really probably should have put down more tape. And as a matter of fact, if I pull this, you can see there's a line, a real faint black line on some of that right there. It's okay for me because I haven't painted my hood yet. But if you're going to be concerned about that, grab a few more pieces of paper and run it across there, okay? You can't use too much paper. The big thing on the floor was I already went down past where the grill was, so any paint falling down, you can see it fell all the way to the edge, but it didn't fall on my grill because, or my bumper, because my bumper's back in there, okay? So you need to tape off a little excessive from what you think, because we are getting that spackling all the way up through that edge, okay? I really could have used more paper. Again, I don't mind because this is a race car, and I'm going to repaint the bumpers. I'm going to repaint the hood. I'm going to repaint all these things. But it's a good view. It's a good thing to think about and something to get used to. Now, one thing that I always do is I will take my tape off before everything is completely dry. I can see that it's starting to dry out right now. There's a risk when it dries completely if you did not do proper prep work, which means you did not sand it properly, that when you pull the tape off, that it could actually pull some of that paint off. I didn't sand it properly, so let's not risk it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start pulling down and away. All right, down and away. Now remember, this should not actually be attached directly to the car. This is taped to your outer edge of tape. So when I pull this off, all my paper can come off. Pull it away from the painted area. You don't want it to touch anything painted, and pull it off. That can go over here right now. Now you can see, as I get closer, there's that white tape we talked about, that cheap tape. So, and there's that green tape underneath that cheap tape. So again, be careful. You don't want to pull your white paint off. And you can see, again, I didn't prep this properly when I sprayed the cream. So some of my paint chipped off just now. And it's silver underneath. So prep is the big thing. I know I didn't talk about sanding because I wanted to talk about the spraying process itself. But sanding is also important. So we're going to get this lifted. Now, this black might be wet right here. Could end up on your fingers. Kind of see how it's ending up there? So don't touch the white paint after you touch that black. Okay, look, we're going right down. We're going fast. I don't always recommend going this fast, but again, this is a race car. I expect things to be damaged and chipped and need repainted. I do not expect you to do this on your daily driver like this. Take your time pulling this tape off. Again, I don't want to necessarily touch that because I do have some black on my finger. I don't want to touch my paint. Look, I just did. I got a fingerprint right there. Stupid. And I'm just kind of taking this off. I can take these and rub them on my pants so I don't get a fingerprint on the car again. That'd be great. But again, mine's a race car. I don't mind these things. Yours might be your daily. You probably don't want too many fingerprints in paint of your daily. And just for the record, behind me is a pile of all this stuff. I'm going to toss it here and kind of fluff it up until it can dry. I don't really want to handle it too much right now. Again, I didn't prep that. You can see where I didn't prep that and it failed me. That is 100% my doing and my fault. Right there. You see how much better that looks? That looks like a brand new grill. That doesn't look like it's been on the road or that it was beat up at all. Let's see if I step back a little bit. It's a good looking grill. I don't know, it took me what, 30 minutes? I mean, I know it's going to be a lot faster for you, but you can see relative to all the other black and all the other plastic and things on this car, that's a good looking grill right now. And that's an old grill. There's nothing special about that. Matter of fact, if I come over here, you can see where I have that overspray we were talking about, where I had it taped off up here, and I painted it, but then it sprayed down. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Again, race car. I'm going to go through and paint everything black like I just did with the grill. But that's because race car. But you can just see kind of that overspray that I'm talking about. That right there. Now if you get it on the windshield, like I got some on the windshield right here, you can get that off with a razor blade. I'll go over that in a different video, not this one. I just painted that right now. And when I did, I came up too high and sprayed it. But again, I knew it was going to paint it black. This is going to get painted black. That's going to get scraped. So I didn't worry about it as much as you should. Tape it better than what I did. That's the key. Do better than me. Because I know what I'm doing as far as what I can get away with right now. Don't be like that, okay? But you can see what I'm talking about. It's an improvement. It's a massive improvement, and it just takes a little bit of time. I did pull off some of that paint where I did not sand that before I painted it, and that is on me. So I actually need to sand that front lip and paint it anyways, but you can see how much improvement that made on it. So yeah. And I think this is like the starting point for building cool things. When I was getting into cars, I started putting flames in my cars, and I started painting my rims and all these other things. So I think it's a good starting point. Go try it. Cost you, I don't know, 20 bucks to do something like that. By the time you're buying the tape and you're making sure you have a pack of paper and you're buying a rattle can that's, I don't know, 8 bucks now. It's 20 bucks. Go paint your front grille or go paint your wheels or go do something like that and just have fun with it. Most importantly, get out there and have a good day.